Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. We're gearing up for the week before Christmas, so I'm ready to paint. I am anxious to create something. And I just wanted to show you something just to give you an idea. You know, I've been painting on glass from frames, which is a really easy surface to paint on. You don't have to worry about warping. It's a super slick finish, so there is no grain of the canvas showing, and you can seal it and put it back in the frame it came from, and it's really just an easy, great way to paint on and economical. And also, I just had the idea the other day. I had leftover paints from different pours in my class, and I have a Arteza 12 by 12 canvas panel that's still in the plastic, okay? So you can see it's still shiny, it's in the plastic. And I did my leftover paints on top of the plastic, and this is how they dried. So they're dry, but this is what I use for acrylic skins, and that goes into making jewelry and that kind of thing. I could even take this, cut it out, paint something on it, and put it in a picture frame. You know, that simple. So yes, it's going to be on a piece of plastic because it's still wrapped in plastic, but I can cut that plastic and play with it. So that was just an idea to give you an idea of surfaces that you can paint on or do leftover paints with, that kind of thing. But today I am inspired by the jewel tones, and especially like what I consider peacock colors, which are purple, blues, a violet color, which is a lighter version of purple, and kind of a phthalo green, which is a really deep emerald green. And I have phthalo green in this cup, but because it is so deep, I spritz just a little bit of white in here, just to hopefully lighten it up just a hair. But I want to do, I've got a 14-inch canvas that I'd like to pour on. And sometimes you're just not certain how the color combination may come out. So if you have a smaller canvas or something else to pour on, I have an 8 by 10 canvas that I'm going to pour on this time and just see if I like the color combination. So I have some white here as well. I've got my, it's called Purple, but it's Dollar and Rowney, and so that's a brand that you can get at Walmart in a tube. So it's actually pretty good quality paint. It's rich and thick, but I have not mixed it yet because I wanted you to see how I mix. And also, I strain my Oatrol or Floetrol, and today I'm using Oatrol Easy Flow, which is a European company. It's the same thing as Floetrol. It's just that Oatrol graciously provides me some free product to demo for you, and so I use it, but it's an option for people that live outside of the United States that are looking for something comparable to Floetrol. And I'm looking here in my cup just to make sure. I pretty much always do the 1-to-1 ratio. It's just the easiest thing to remember, and it really works well. There is usually no cracking or crazing. So I'm pretty content with the 1-to-1 ratio. So I'm just helping this Oatrol get through this strainer here. And sometimes if your strainer gets clogged up, this will cause it to, kind of drain slower than usual. So I think I've got about all that I'm going to get from it. And the good thing, about these strainers, you have to rinse them out and clean them out really well, because if you let anything dry in it, then obviously nothing is going to flow through it when you drain it the next time. So like this is Liquitex Basics Phthalocyanine Green, and I put just a pinch of white in it. So I'm going to speed through this process of mixing the last two colors, and I'm also going to be adding a pretty good amount of water because tube paints are very rich and thick, And I mix my Oatrol 10% to 90% water in a bottle. So that is what is in my red bottle. So that's what you'll see me squeezing into the paint colors to get them to the consistency of like warm honey pouring off a stick, or kind of to the consistency of like Elmer's glue. You want it to stream off your stick, and I'll try to show you at the end after I've mixed it so you can see the consistency. I'm going to add a little bit more to this because it usually comes out kind of a milky white colored water, and that means I've got about the right ratio, and the water came out pretty clear, so I didn't have enough Oatrol in it. But it's at least 10%. You're just adding a little of whatever your pouring medium is into your water, so when you add it to your paint, it just mixes better. So see the consistency? It's like milky water. That is what my water mixture looks like inside the bottle. It's not totally clear. So when I get it to the consistency I like, I also make sure and run my stick around the edges of the cup to make sure all the paint and Oatrol or Floetrol and water and everything are mixed really properly together. And then when it pours off the stick, it's in a steady stream, and when it lands on the surface of the paint, it kind of just sinks in pretty quickly. It does not, if it kind of lands on top in a mound and stays there for a long time, then it's still too thick. And so another thing that I tell people is if your stick were to stand up in your paint, that means it's still too thick. It's got to be able to relax in your cup and not stand up like in peanut butter. So that looks like about the right consistency. And so all of these colors have a drop or so of OGX. So I'm going to put one in here. And just give it a few stirs just to kind of get it mixed into the cup. And that's it. And that OGX smells so good. So I'm going to do a test canvas first. On an 8x10, I might need 2 to 3 ounces of paint total to cover this canvas. So I'm just going to get a little bathroom cup that's 3 ounces. And I think I'm going to start with just a hint of white. My white is mixed 1 to 1 and it has water in it, but no OGX or silicone. OGX is coconut milk anti-breakage hair serum. The key ingredient in it that is what helps produce the big lovely cells is dimethicone. So that is what you're looking for in a hair product. If you see an OGX hair product and you're not sure if it is the right one, look in the ingredients, and if dimethicone is the first one or two ingredient in the list, then it's probably pretty good. But this is Dollar Roundy. That's what the tube looks like from Walmart. So it's pretty good quality. It's $2 or $3 for a tube, and I don't know how much is in the tube. It doesn't have ounces on it, but I would say probably 2 ounces of paint, because it's about half the size of a regular artist tube paint. So this is probably 2 ounces, and it goes a long way. This is their color purple, but as you can see, this is purple from another brand, and you see the difference in the deepness of this purple. And these colors here are Fine Touch from Hobby Lobby. Fine Touch comes in 16-ounce bottles, so they're kind of a shorter bottle, and they have a flat top, and they're pretty round, and they're 16-ounce bottles, and they're like $7 at Hobby Lobby. So this is the purple and the deeper blue and a lighter blue. I've mixed the Phthalocyanine green, which was Liquitex Basics, and my hot pink color was like a light magenta, and it was probably Liquitex Basics as well. So those are the colors I'm going with. So I've got my white in. I'm going to try to make a little bit of a punch with this beautiful Phthalocyanine green right at the beginning. And what I like to do is put a little contrasting colors. This is going to be a dirty pour. I like to do a little bit of contrast so that if you put too many colors that are all the same value of color, they're all going to kind of blend in and nothing's going to really stand out. So I like to kind of contrast my colors. So I put the lighter blue, now I put the white, and I think I'll do the deep purple. This purple, which is kind of a medium purple, and this hot pink color. And I'm going to finish it off with the darker blue on top. So I think what I'm going to do is flip it and put just a little bit of white around it. And just kind of spread it out with my finger. This just gives it kind of a wet surface to move around on. Whoops, I hit the cup with my hand, so there we go, we've released it. And I really like that white on the bottom. So I'm going to let the cup sit upside down just for a minute. I'm going to zoom in a little further so you can see a little bit better. And this is like I said, it's kind of like my trial run for a larger canvas. So this way I can say, okay, I want less pink to show and I want more of the green, and maybe I want to throw in a limey green. So this kind of helps you decide, if you're doing a larger piece, which way you might want to go. Also, the wonderful thing about OGX is the cells pop up on their own pretty quickly. And if you just be patient with it and give it a few minutes to just sit, it will react on its own. I can put the heat on it. But usually when you do heat, it brings up these little tiny white dots. So you don't have to put heat on your pour after you flipped it. It's not really necessary. If you're just more patient with it, you'll probably have better results. So I think that's all that's going to come out of the cup, and the cup is always really pretty inside. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch it this way. Take it to the corner. I'll go this way and see what I can get to happen with that green in the corner, but try not to lose it if I can. The least favorite of the colors is that hot pink color for me. So I don't have a problem with it if it kind of goes away. I hate to lose the blue. So, but you know, I can deal with the way it looks right now. This blue is, the blues are really beautiful and not a ton of it popped out. See, there's a little, where I used the heat gun, as you can see, those little white dots are kind of speckled all in my paint, so I kind of wish I didn't heat it. So looking at this, as far as peacock colors, I see my purple. I don't see a lot of this color. I'm going to totally remove the hot pink as an option. I like the purple, which it obviously is very strong. I love this kind of emerald phthalo green here, but I would like to see more, and I would like to see more blue. So I'm going to, I think, do more layers for my bigger canvas and maybe add a green, like more of a lime green. So I'm going to mix that up for the next video so that I can get that ready. And then you can see this as the kind of the final test. But you see those nice big cells are from OGX. And I don't recommend really using your heat torch on this when you're, you know, wanting to get those cells to pop out. They will do it all by themselves without you helping them. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. The next video that follows this one will be a 14-inch square, and I'm hoping to go a little truer to the peacock colors. I'll be right back. Thanks. Bye-bye.